Hey, Robin!
Jack!
We're the Inwits, back for what I think is the second last episode of the Australian season.
I just realised something.
What'd you realise?
It's called Jack and Roll, right?
Yeah.
But we always introduce ourselves the opposite way around.
Well, it's called the Inwits.
Yeah, that's true. That's very inwitty.
Yeah. I think we were Jack and Rob at the start until you came up with a clever name.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Anyway.
Yeah, first episode. Sharn plays an idol and does really well with it. Perfect idol play.
Yeah, yes, perfect idol play.
That's all I can say about the episode.
Oh, really? That's all you've got?
Yeah,
we're that far. We're doing this too many times a week and just like, all right, let's just get to the crux
the
of it.
problem I have is the Australian edit is so long now, right? It's still the hour show.
Yeah.
But you got 6 people. I mean, just how much can you show of what?
But they also spoon feed us, so we know the idol's coming. We know exactly how it's going.
Well, actually, there is another thing to talk about. Sharn walks over to the well and goes, "Oh, I better have a look for an idol. It's there in a tree."
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was really weak.
Yeah.
You know, an idol just sitting in the tree near the well. I was like, "Come on, put some effort in, guys."
It was it.
That was weak.
Yeah.
Didn't even have to dig or anything.
I wasn't really a fan of the hidden idol this late in the game.
No, neither was I. But even so, if it's going to be hidden, hide it. Make them work for it. Sharn,
yeah, you know what? I miss that. I miss that about hidden idols now.
That's
we just go off and find them. I loved when they got a clue.
Yeah.
And that said, Benji did get a clue, go across where the tide's
Right.
out. So, but I love more of that.
Yeah.
Finding an idol in a tree, in a little nook and a cranny. Yeah, great. We know how that is. I just think it was too late in the game for that.
I don't even mind that it's that late, but a tree next to the well, come on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
Anybody could have, and that's what I have. That's the issue I have is they've put it there because then anybody can spot it. That's what they're hoping for. Somebody got it.
And this is why, because this was the challenge where Shonee and Brian were holding on. Yeah. And then Brian's like, just trust me, let it go, Brian. Like, you're allowed to not win one every now and then, I would have thought.
Oh, look, I don't know what he was thinking of. Yeah, when I was, if I was hanging on that thing, I would have been going, go, Shonee.
Yeah, I would have given it to Shonee in that one just to secure the alliance and trust the alliance, trust in the alliance a bit more. And look, it's all fallen to pieces, and
that's putting it mildly.
And like I said, this comes from a misplay of Dead Man Walking.
No, it didn't.
It 100% does, because this would have been totally avoidable. What happened, transpired last night was avoidable because they still had 2 votes. They could have only ever had 1 vote. They could only ever had one.
What I mean is, like, it was that the mistake was not voting Sharn out. I agree with you that, right? But even in the second vote, they could have voted Sharn out before this, right? Because Steve was never going to go look for an idol.
That's the thing.
Right?
Steve was never going to look.
But up until now, Sharn's never looked for one either.
Well, yeah.
She got the clue.
She got the clue to one.
Right.
But Sharn's strategically pushing the game really hard.
Yeah. I mean, I would have got rid of it.
So Steve, to me, is no threat. Yes, he may or may not win an individual immunity, or yes, he may or may not be your biggest competitor, Brian, to winning an individual immunity.
But he's a lump that sits on the beach.
But he hasn't performed well enough to win. He's come very close, but he's not. He doesn't seem to have.
Sharn has 2 immunities under a belt, and he has none.
Yeah,
and you're voting him out.
You're voting him only purely on a physical appearance.
Exactly.
And that's your. And yes, I get it. Now all the other women don't have the strength.
His social game is rubbish.
Yep.
Right? He sits on the beach. His idea of playing the game is going and meditating.
His social game and his strategic game suck.
Yeah, exactly.
So why vote him out? To me, that's why this has happened.
It's not why it's happened. I'll tell you why it's happened. Because Brian actually started, and this happens so often in Survivor, right? You get into a power position of power, you start thinking, you believe your own press. You know, he was sitting there going, oh, I'm King Grub. You know, I'm this and that. All through the episode, he's like, oh, I'm in control. I'm the one telling, right? What's he do? What was really interesting about the show for me, this episode, was we finally got to see where all the plans were coming from. It was Shonee that was making the plans up. Because Grub actually came along and said, I want to put 3 votes on Sharn. And she's like, no, we stick to the plan. Shonee's the one, the brains behind all that.
And she's the brains behind the next night as well.
Exactly, right? So,
but this is the thing. Like this is why
Brian branches out by himself, and instantly his brain falls out of his
And
head.
this is why last week when you were saying how great Monica's game has been, and I was really struggling to agree with you here, because I believe Shonee has played to her strength ever since she got
Oh,
tapped
no,
in.
Shonee's
And
played
I
a
just
terrific
don't
game.
think Monica has. And
I
not
think Monica has. I think Monica played really well. And I think you see it when she talks on one-to-one camera.
Yeah.
She's thinking about the game.
she's thinking about it. I just think she's thinking too little, too late, and she's also thinking. And people won't like Brian, and I can beat Brian.
Oh no, I think that's legitimate. If I was Shonee, I would be trying to drag Brian to council because
And that's fair.
That's a $500,000 win.
That's a fair point. And I still think that's an easy possibility here.
Absolutely easy. If I was Shonee, I would be trying to get Brian to number 2. Absolutely.
Yeah, and look, I think it's we might get Shonee and Shane final 2.
I don't think so. I think Shonee's gone no matter what. But we'll
I
talk
can't
about
see.
that.
Yeah, see, I don't see.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah,
But let's cap off this episode. Right?
Yeah.
One of the great things that Sharn did in this whole episode, and it's something we bring up a lot, right?
Oh yeah.
Don't change your behaviour.
Yeah.
What did Sharn do when she found the idol? She went running around doing everything that she could, exactly like she did before.
Yeah. But also not trying to find. She wasn't out there trying to find the idol. She was out there trying to hustle and make sure people didn't know she was looking.
Well,
for an idol.
she wanted to get the votes on her.
Yeah.
Right?
She wanted to make that feel
we heard Brian say, "Wow, she's really hustling. You know, she really is desperate. You know, blah blah blah."
And then we get the same the next night when Shane doesn't.
Exactly.
And Brian's like, "What's up with that? Why is she not?"
That's
doing
right.
what
But
she's been
also
doing?"
Brian's behaviour lets them know that he's
them
got
know
an
he's got an
idol
idol.
because he's asleep on the beach.
Yeah.
His head's on the block.
Exactly, and it's a strange.
It's a real contrast in these 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's a strange kind of thing that you have coming out here, and like I said, I'm still going to fight with. This would not have happened.
No, I think it still would have happened.
It can't have happened because Shane and Sharn were 2 votes. If they'd done it properly, it was only ever 1 vote.
No, the reason I'm going to say that this has happened, and I think this is where I differ from you, is that Brian decided to branch out on his own. He left Shonee's plan behind.
Yeah.
And this is something else that happened in that episode.
But the plan, the problem is there would never have been a need for a 2-2 split.
Well,
we wouldn't have had to go 2-2-2 because they only ever had 1.
Yeah, okay, but
That's why.
But Brian's explanation for what he did, for why he voted for Sharn, doesn't add up.
No, it's overconfidence.
No, it's not. He said in the next episode when he talks about Fenella, he says, "Well, I wanted to break up Fenella and Shonee, right?"
Yeah.
He didn't know Sharn was going to play an idol.
No.
So that's bullshit. That is unadulterated crap that he's saying to the camera that he knew Sharn was going to play an idol and that's why he was voting on her. So then the Fenella would go. That's rubbish.
But where's your game? If that's your thought, think it like, yes. You know what? The best way to break them up is to keep them when you and Monica, Sharn and Shonee and Fenella, and whoever's the last remaining, and pull the last one in.
Right. That is exactly what I was about to say.
You're going too early. That makes no sense to go then and there.
That's right. Brian should have actually voted with them. Even if he wanted to get rid of Fenella and Shonee, right? He should have voted with them to get rid of Sharn, right? Or Shane, one or the other, whichever one got the split vote, right? Then there's one left. Like you said, there's 2 couples. We drag the split vote.
Exactly. We pull the split,
and then we get rid of
also have your idol.
Yeah, exactly.
You also have your idol. You're also pulling the split, and
it's so easy.
It's a textbook play here.
Exactly.
That was just completely disrupted by every little aspect since Dead Men Walking. Everything since Dead Men Walking has been a mistake on Brian's behalf.
Exactly. But this is what I think. I think up until Shonee's been making the plans, Brian decides to branch out his own, right? Messes it up completely, and then we see him mess up completely again in the very next episode.
Because there's no, exactly like Shonee said, there was no need to go, because a 2-2 split is still fine.
Exactly.
Idols flushed, easy. There is no reason for that.
Right.
One, they never needed to be in that situation to begin with, but because they got themselves in that situation, there was still no need. That situation was such a controllable situation.
Absolutely. It was Brian that messed it up.
Yeah, Brian stuffed everything up there, and whatever, to split up Shonee and Fenella, it's not the right time. Shonee's move in the next episode is the time.
I think Shonee's messed. I don't think she had a lot of options, but I think Shonee's actually just, and this is the reason. I think I wanted to touch on this from the first episode as well. Did you see Matt and Steve's reaction when Sharn played the idol?
Yeah.
Right. These guys are not going to vote on who played the game best. These guys.
Did you see them? Did this? But what about the second episode? That was all Shonee.
Yeah, that was good, but I think they're going to. No, that's okay. I still think they're going to vote Alliance though. Them and Sam. I reckon they're going to vote Sam. And let's put it this way: if Shane or Sharn is sitting in the final, right? There's 3 votes they've got straight away.
Well, look. That said, though.
Thank God there's the others, Benji and Robbie in there.
Sharn will give a good argument. And Sharn got herself into a shitty situation and put herself at the bottom of the tribe. And still, she's basically where Shonee was right from the get-go. And Shonee put herself into a powerful position. And she's not been out of a powerful position since.
But I think this is why Shonee can't win. She's in a no-win situation at this time.
I totally disagree.
I think this is why she's in a no-win situation, because I think the problem is, and this is the same thing I said last week, Shane and Sharn are together.
Yeah.
They're not going to split. They are absolutely not going to split on each other. No. Shonee, if you make a deal with them, it's the only deal she can make, though, because Brian's the only other deal in town.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but was Brian going to take Shonee over Monica? No.
No, but...
So she was in the same position regardless.
No, this is my thing. Shonee knew that Monica was the target.
Yeah.
Who's the best player for Shonee to go to the final with?
Monica.
Save Monica. Do something to frickin' save Monica and get rid of Brian or get rid of Shane.
The complexities there, I think, were just...
Oh, it's heavy.
That's work. That's
hard
getting
work.
Monica.
I'm not saying it's not.
I just think Monica's too close with Brian, and Monica, the way she's played so far, her idea, I don't think you could have pulled that one off. That would have been amazing to go, okay, me and Monica, let's get together.
I think there is a way Shonee could have done it. If she had a dropped vengeance and thought about it coolly, right? She could have actually sided with Brian and Monica, right?
Yeah.
Knocked out Shane, got rid of Shane, right? Or Sharn, whichever one, right? Now there's one there, right? And then what she's got to do is the hard work of dragging Monica away from Brian.
Brian wins immunity next.
Then they've still got Shane or Sharn to vote off, right? But if he doesn't, they've got one of the old Alliance left. They can vote off Brian by dragging them in, right?
Mm.
Because Brian and Shane or Brian and Sharn is simply not going to work. Mm-hmm. So you keep them divided. And that's where Shonee messed up, I think. She should have voted with Brian and Monica this time.
I don't know.
And then voted against Brian next time.
I just don't, I think...
Now, she's dead. Like, Shonee and Shane are basically just going to vote...
last week you were like, this is our top 3. And those two people are out.
No, that would... Yeah, but only because Brian's
made a stack of mistakes.
Absolutely.
My argument to that is I believe, yes, this was a moment Brian did not win immunity. He didn't. And maybe he'll win the next 2.
Oh, he could win.
He can win the next 2, and it takes it out of your control. At least having a move here. Yes, you could have got rid of Brian, but Brian had the idol, so they made the correct move.
I'm not saying get rid of Brian now. I'm saying Shonee should have voted with Brian and Monica to get rid of Sharn or Shane now.
Yeah.
Then next time, hope he doesn't win and get rid of him.
Oh no, I reckon she's done the right play. I reckon she switched at the right time. Because...
Do you reckon Shane and Sharn are going to take her, like Shane's going to take her, or Sharn's going to take her over the other one?
I believe Shonee can beat them in immunity, and she'll be the one deciding.
Oh, I hope so.
That's why.
But I don't think it matters. I think, well...
See, that's the big difference. If she can get rid of Brian and disrupt that, she has more chance of winning immunity than the other 2. And I personally believe Shonee can outdo Sharn most of the time now. Because
I don't think so.
Because we're getting close to 50 days in. I just think her youthfulness is giving her a lot more stamina. As you know,
I'll give Shonee one thing. She's always got a positive attitude.
Yeah, and she's held on to that pole. What was the one where Sharn just won? What did she just win?
She won immunity.
Yeah, but what was the challenge again?
The bucket and the fire.
Bucket and the fire. Well, that's
only because Sharn makes the fire.
That's only because Sharn and Shane have made the fire.
Yeah,
and this is stupid. Like this is
So if you ever go on Survivor, what are you going to do?
Yeah, but we all know this.
I know.
You learnt this from if you've watched Survivor a long time ago.
That's right.
But if you're an Australian fan, you learnt this last year when Jericho decimated learning the fire.
That's right.
You need to know how to make fire, and that's a big mistake on Brian's behalf. Shonee, that was never her game strength, but she should have looked into that.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely.
But now knowing that, there's not going to be a fire making challenge, and Sharn made a really great fire, and so did Shane. They made pretty good fires there.
Yeah.
That's what gave them the edge. I think outside of that, I think Shonee can beat Sharn very easily.
I don't know. I think it's a real Sharn's shown she's got some real willpower.
She has, but she's now.
I'm not sure Shonee matches it. In willpower.
Yeah, but I think Sharn had more willpower 10, 20 days ago.
You may be right.
And now when I'm watching her, when she was holding on, how much was she struggling?
Yeah,
when she was running to get the water back, she wasn't running. She was it was a slow, it was so slow she was almost walking.
Yeah.
But because she had such a lead with the fire ability, that a puzzle maybe, but with a physical thing, I just think Shonee can win, and I think Shonee's backing herself. If they can get rid of Brian, Shonee wins immunity. She decides.
Look, I think the crucial thing here is next episode, who wins immunity?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's crucial, and
because
I don't think Brian wants to get. I don't think Brian would want to get rid of Shonee. I think he'd much rather get rid of Sharn. Sharn's the biggest threat out there.
He wants to get rid of Sharn. I have no doubts about it, but I don't think. This is the thing. Will Shonee go with him? But then, if they do, this is the problem I have. When it's 4, which it is, right?
It always goes to
2-2, right?
Well, no.
Who wants to go to Rocks?
Yeah, or who wants to go to Making Fire?
Right.
Shonee doesn't want to go to Making Fire against Shane.
No, that's right.
So it's going to fall in line. It's going to be Shane if she can go push me to fire Shonee.
No, what I mean is if Shonee, let's say Shonee wins immunity, that's great for Shonee because Shonee can basically say to Brian, "I'm voting for Sharn."
Yeah.
And Brian's got really no choice except to vote for Sharn because otherwise it'll be him.
Yeah.
Right? Because you know who those two are going to vote for, right? So he's got no choice except to vote for Sharn, right?
Yeah.
So then the problem is it's still 2-2. I mean, Shonee can live through it because she's not...
But, okay, so let's say because Brian is this Brian wins immunity.
Yes.
So it's in more of Brian's power. What does Shonee do?
Shonee's dead.
I think Sharn's dead. Brian gets rid of Sharn. Brian's going to vote Sharn.
I think what will happen is this. Brian doesn't care.
Yeah. Brian will go Sharn because it's just logically.
Right. Shonee can go Sharn, sure.
2-2, yeah, right.
Yeah, 2-2. It's going to be 2-2. It's going to be a split either way and somebody's head's going to roll. Right? And if it's against Sharn and Shane, who we already know can make fire...
Yeah, Shonee's in trouble.
Shonee's in trouble.
Look, I'm still back in Shonee's game. I think she flipped at the right time.
Look, it's like Phoebe for me in season 1, right? I would want to see Shonee go because she's played really well, right?
She's played a subtly really.
Yeah.
She played to her strength.
She's playing a Sandra's game.
Yeah, and she's dead as long as it's not me, and that's the two of them were together, and of course you're going to pick.
I would feel much better about this if Shane or Sharn was gone by now. Because
this should. Yeah. Again, this is why I'm saying Dead Man Walking is the key because that should have been the case.
Well, I just think Brian's mistakes after Dead Man Walking were just.
But that was a huge mistake. That was such a huge mistake to get rid of someone.
It was a recoverable mistake, but
you did have to.
He thought Sharn didn't have an idol.
Yeah,
and that was his huge error.
That's a big error because they still had power.
Yeah, exactly.
They still had power there. My only problem was. That's why I'm saying the problem was you could have given them 0 power.
Oh,
sure. You left an option open that we've still got the power, but there is a potential when you had at your disposal a reason to completely eradicate that potential. Yeah. You had that under your control and you stuffed that up. So you deserve that to happen, and then you go and then you make the bigger mistake with going the split vote made sense.
Oh, absolutely. The split vote was a no-brainer.
It was a no-brainer.
Absolute no-brainer. And him voting 3 on Sharn was just stupid.
It makes no sense at all because that was locked in.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can pick from there. That's the strange thing about it. If you get rid of Sharn as he wanted to, right, or Shane, doesn't matter, right? After that, you can pick.
Yeah.
You can pick, okay, Shonee now. Okay, Shane now. Okay, Monica, let's go.
Look, the only thing is like, I'm trying to think, did he do that? But it was still to Sharn.
I think it was
still
just
to Sharn.
overconfidence.
Yeah, that's what,
right?
because if Frenella, Shonee, and Monica, it made sense for them to get rid of Brian.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah.
Oh, look, it's all blown up, right? I would look if Shonee can make it through somehow to 3.
Well, look, she's made it through this far.
Yeah.
I really don't see
and if
her
she can win that last immunity,
and I reckon she will.
if she can, right? If she can win that last immunity, I reckon that'd be just great. The only problem I've got is there is going to be, if that happens, there's going to be either Shane and Sharn on the jury,
Yeah.
right? With Matt and Steve, that's 3 votes for a champion.
Look,
Right.
I think Matt will let go of that. I don't think
think he
Steve
will.
I
Steve
kind
won't.
of think Matt's a sportsman.
No, but Matt loves the champion. Like, he is adamant that the champion win.
Oh, I don't know.
He was all the way down the line. It was all about champions.
Yeah, but
champions.
I don't think he likes Brian anymore. Like they just
Oh,
so.
look, that's what I think is
No,
great. If you take Brian.
I believe because a lot happens now outside. A lot happens in Jury Villa where they get to chat.
Unfortunately, I think Matt is pretty close-minded, just like Steve.
No, I reckon he'll be.
And I reckon they would be working on Sam
or
too.
sportswoman.
Yeah, I think they are sportsmen, but they're going to think their whole thing has been champions are better than contenders. Flat out, just that's it.
Nah, I disagree. I totally disagree.
That's been Matt's attitude all the way through the game.
Yeah, because that was his strategy. But outside of that, when he can let go of that strategy, now watch Tribal. You've watched someone watching Shonee work and knowing where she came in at the bottom and how she's still there. She's the only one left, complete underdog, and her fight and the organisation, her switch to go over there. That's her. If she comes out with if she does immunity, that's also her. Frenella's going to go back and go, this was the plan. Shonee
Thank
thought up.
God. You know, thank God
And
Fenella and
they're going to
Robbie
know
and
that.
Benji are there. That's what I say at the moment.
So yeah, the only thing is
I'm sorry, I just don't see Matt or Steve.
I'm not
being
agreeing with
open-minded.
you again.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not
That's
agreeing
fine.
with you again after last week's. This is our final 3 and Monica's great gameplay. I'm not agreeing with you.
I like Monica's gameplay. I do.
Look, Monica was good for Monica.
I think Monica's biggest mistake was trusting Brian too far. I think she didn't move around. Like, she should have been either forming another relationship with the girls, which she never bothered to do, right? And that was her downfall. If you get, she says her strength is social. Well, she should have had a bond with Brian, but she should have also had a bond with the girls that she could have relied on.
Because
right?
that's what you need. You need the alliance within the alliance.
Exactly.
Especially if it's.
If you are going to vote Grub sooner or later, which you know you're going to have to, you should be forming
unless it is you are going to the end together. Because I'm guessing Shonee and Frenella were going to the end together.
Oh, I think so.
Side note, what did you think of Brian winning the car and then his quick little whisper in Monica's ear?
Well, actually, I've got I'm not sure that that's allowed in the rules of the game.
If I win, you get the car.
Because you know you can't split the money. You're not allowed to actually talk to another player and go, look,
we'll go Harveys.
We'll go Harveys. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
That's actually against the rules of the game. There's not many rules in the game, but that is one of them. And I think I'm pretty sure it's probably the same for the car. I don't think he had any choice about giving it to her without violating the rules of the game. Okay. So, but I think that was just pulling her in again.
Of course.
You know, it's a complete lie.
Yeah, but clever little. Well, it might not have been. He doesn't need a car. He's on quite a bit of money from his. I
think it was just to pull her in.
Yeah, and I thought it was a nice little sweetener.
Yeah, it is exactly. You know, if I win, you know, you're not going to be completely left in the dark.
Yeah,
I'll take care of you. You know, but that's Brian. Like, look at what he was saying to Shonee on the log. Oh, it's okay. You don't have to struggle. I'll take care of you.
But this is the thing. This is let go. Brian should let go and give. Like, that's
Brian.
We've talked about this actually quite a bit in this season about. You don't always need to have the power.
Exactly.
Because everyone's been wanting this power.
That's right.
And it's been everyone who's wanted the power and has got the power. It's gotten to their head, and they don't let that idea of I don't need all the power, because even if I give up a little bit of power at one point, I still have power.
Brian's just a classic.
It gives me more power.
Brian's a classic case of making it to the top. Well, the top, right? The front man, right? And thinking he's it. He's the reason why everything's happening. Yeah. If he gets the other people are contributing too, You're not there by yourself.
So now let's talk about just quickly, because there's not much more to discuss.
No, not really.
But let's say last year. Let's compare last year.
Yeah,
I know I'm probably doing this a bit early.
No.
Last year we get to this final area. We had threat,
Yeah,
gone. We got rid of our threats, and we kind of only had Jericho, who was I thought Jericho was a great player who stuffed up his final. He almost lost himself again in the final chat.
That's right.
But the other ones were pretty useless.
Yeah, they were.
We get to the end here. Right now we've got Brian. Brian can put a case forward. Shonee can put a case forward. Sharn will not stop trying to put a case forward. She is constantly talking. Shane, probably done the least, but she has made moves. She's made a move. And she could probably put something forward, being with her age and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. She's 61.
We've got a pretty decent Final Four here.
Absolutely.
And all different facets.
Yeah.
We've got someone who's really competitive. We've got someone who's really strategic. We've got someone who's really social. And then we've got the outsider, which is Shane. Yeah. Well, we've got someone covering basically every element of this game.
I forget who it was which episode it was, but somebody said Brian's our villain.
Look, he's not a villain when you think of America. Australian season has not had a villain.
Not a real villain.
Not a real villain. But he's the closest.
He's been the most villainous, really, at the end of the day. Like
he has, but
he's. Let's put it this way. Yeah, we've already said, his plays aren't that great when he's by himself.
Yeah, look, I mean, and Brian deserves everything he's got right now, because since Dead Man Walking, it's been a mistake. Oh, big mistake.
Not just little ones, huge mistakes.
And each mistake just sinks his ship more and more. I don't know if I don't know what that is. I don't think he's a villain. I think he's playing hard. I think he's playing for himself, and he's playing a selfish game. But as far as a villain goes, a villain is someone who's manipulating people. I don't think Brian has been manipulating too much. No. There's not much manipulation. Brian just hasn't gelled with people and probably played a more brutal, cutthroat game, which to me isn't villainous.
Oh, no. I think he's playing within the rules of the game.
Tricking people to vote for you when you've got an idol, all this sort of stuff.
I think Steve thinks he's a villain.
Steve thinks he's a villain, but it's not within the villains we have seen. You know, I mean, you've got Russell, who's the biggest villain of all, who goes, I'm just going to tell everyone this is my wife's ring. And he's done that on multiple times. Right. He's got his shtick. He's a villain. And there are conniving people out there. I don't think Brian is cunning and conniving. No. And that's what I think makes a really good villain.
Or like in episode, season 7, Bilal and Johnny Fairplay.
What was it? Is Johnny Fairplay?
Yeah.
Johnny
Fairplay? But
his grandma.
His grandma died.
Never died.
Never died. She was sitting at home watching him. It was fantastic.
Like things like that. Johnny Fairplay, Russell.
Exactly.
There's all these villains, but the villain aspect is more. I think a strong villain comes from a strong, cunning, strategic game.
Yeah,
and Brian doesn't have that.
No.
He's had a ruthless strategic.
I don't think so. Look,
for this season,
I can't go past the fact that I think as soon as he branches out by himself, he makes 2 whopping errors, right?
Massive errors.
And that just tells me he was relying on the girls for the brains, right? He was following their plans, and that was what. And as soon as he leaves them, boom.
But you know what? He flipped when he needed to flip, because he was always on the outs.
So he had no choice.
Yeah, to me, he wasn't a villain, and I can't say Brian's a villain. He's given a mildly villainous edit.
Look, how many times would Brian have been standing in camp? He would have overheard somebody say, Matt say to Steve, I don't trust Brian.
Yeah.
Right? He would have known that. He would have known he was completely on that.
So, I don't call him a villain per se. No. I can't see him as a strong villain. But look, he's the villain of the season.
The good thing is that it hasn't panned out like I thought.
Oh, thank God it hasn't.
Yeah, thank God.
And there's been twists and turns. And like I said, again, it shouldn't. Where we were sitting right now was easily avoidable, and that's the frustrating thing as a strategic player. Like when we think about the game strategically,
there's no more idols out there now.
Well, idols can't be played now.
That's right. There's only 4. You know what I mean? The idols have gone out of it, right? So it is down to immunity. And like you said, if the girls can actually keep it off Brian's gone.
Yeah, the 2 people you want out is Brian and Sharn.
Exactly.
Well, there's only 4 left anyway.
Yeah, there's only 4. But all I'm saying is, like, unless Brian has to win the next 2 immunities.
He has to win the next 2. And he was in... That's the frustrating point, just to see these big mistakes from someone who was, he...
Looked good for a while.
They all looked good for a while.
They did. They really did.
But the only one who comes out of it, in my eyes, still looking good is Shonee.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Monica's now gone as well. But once Frenella was always the sidekick to Shonee.
What I've always found interesting about the Shonee Fennella thing is Sharn and Shane, right?
They're exactly the same.
Yeah, but they're always after Fennella, right? Because she was a bigger immunity threat. And I was like...
I'm not... Yeah,
I don't see it.
I think that's the bond that Shonee built by being there earlier.
No, I'm just saying, though. Yeah. Like, you have all this Shonee... And
why Fennella?
Why Fennella over Shonee? I don't see it.
Yeah, it was strange. It was a strange thing they always went for her, but...
Yeah, it was just strange. But anyway, look... I can't say I'm unhappy with the season is.
I'm definitely happy.
Yeah,
I'm
happy it's broken up.
Yeah, what frustrates me is nothing to do with the gameplay. Like, it's nothing to do with the show and the season as we're going on. Yeah. Obviously, the first half of the season frustrated the hell out of me and depressed me. Since Merge, we've had some gameplay and we've had some strategy.
Yeah, that's
what's
good.
Frustrating me is to see something like, you know what? If you had a strategy and Sharn and Shane dropped their idol like she did, and you got had, I'm okay with those. But to see something yes, Sharn had an idol, but it was a completely
nullified it.
Yeah, it was a complete. All these things that have happened to Brian, doesn't matter who they're happening to, but all these things that have happened were 100% avoidable. That's the thing that's bothering me. When the gameplay gets, they're all playing and they're all trying to do things and they're not accounting, like Brian's not and Monica aren't accounting for the potential of Shonee and Frenella to do A, B, and C, or the potential of this, but they're all going like, then I'm okay. But when it's 100% avoidable. When it was 100%, when it was locked in as a sure thing, that's the frustrating thing.
Oh, it is. It is like 0 to 0, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
0.
And that's the case, like you said, when you get to the king.
That's right. It happens to so many players.
Like, I'm in control. I'm the godfather.
It all falls to pieces.
Always, never, ever. That's not what you want to be.
No. You know, the way he went to sleep on the beach, the way he went to sleep on a log, I'm going to make it look like I'm looking for an eye. I'm like, no, you're so complacent.
Yeah.
You know?
I've got an idol. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
What if you found a second idol?
Exactly.
And then, that's when... Play one for me, play one for Monica. Then you're making sure. But he just wasn't. He wasn't dotting his I's and crossing his T's.
Oh, not at all. He thought he'd do it.
Yeah.
He had pretty much booked in his place at the final.
His strategy in his mind was just the first draft. He hadn't really thought of any other. He hadn't thought of any other possibilities, and that's the thing.
That's
what's frustrating. It's like, great, you've got a strategy, but what about the? You got to think ahead. You got to think. You also got to think what they're thinking, what they're doing.
That's right, and I think it's perfect that Sharn looked like she didn't have an idol.
Yeah, and I think it's also perfect that Shonee went, hey, can we get Shane to...
Exactly.
Can we get Shane to look a bit more hopeless?
That's right. That's...
Because that was almost a massive sign from Shane.
That's
massive
right.
signal that Shonee got on top of and fixed.
That's right, but, anyway, that's all I've got to say.
That's all I got from me as well. We'll... Hope you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to win? I'm still a big fan. I think Shonee's going all the way. I don't think she can do no wrong, even with the disaster of her four alliance crumbling in front of her.
I'm going to call. I think it's going to be Shane and Sharn.
Okay, cool.
I think they'll be able to pull one against the other, and they'll vote off the other one.
That's the thing. I just think Shonee.
I think that'll be really.
I think Shonee will get immunity and get her way through.
I hope so,
because that's another string in her bow.
The one I just said was the most boring outcome I could imagine.
It is. It is a boring outcome.
Sharn versus Shane at the final would just be dull.
Yeah.
I really hope Shonee makes it.
Yeah, I think Shonee's going to take it out. I'm hoping. That's all. We'll be back in a couple of days for episode 2 American.
Yeah, great.
All right. Okay. See you guys.
See ya.